Good day, dear students. Let's begin our next lecture. Today's lecture will be about the spiritual heritage of Uzbekistan, of Uzbek people. When we speak about spiritual heritage, we can say much. So at the end of the lecture, you will get some useful information concerning the spiritual heritage of Uzbek people, of Uzbek nation. So let's begin our next lecture. A people without knowledge of their past, origin, and culture, like a tree that has no root. That means people should know their past, the history of their country, and of course, they should be proud of all that is left by the predecessors of this land. Mapping out spiritual heritage is a powerful experience, of course. People should know about everything that their predecessors did. Look at the screen. Do you remember the hero of the cartoon? You're right, that's Mowgli. World famous Mowgli. So, what do you think? What did he inherit? Of course, he inherited only jungle life. He lost his national identity in the forest. No language, no culture, no ethnic behavior. So on the land there are more than 3 or 4,000 ethnic groups, and all of them have got their own national identity, unique features that differentiate from each other. On the screen you can see different kind of ethnic groups. Of course, they have got their own unique features. And so, what about the nationality we spoke, but what about the modern life? We should keep the balance between the past and the future, because everything is modernizing nowadays, and sometimes it makes us to forget our history, to forget our old fashionable things. But here, the person or any kind of ethnic group should keep a balance between body, mind, and spirit. Of course, attention should be given to both sides, to the history as well as to preserve the heritage as well as to modern life. To be modern, to be a modernized person. We should preserve our past. We should preserve our heritage for the new coming generation. If we become so modest, so modern, and we forget about our past life, so we'll doom everything, all that we have concerning to our heritage. So we should keep a balance between them. We should preserve, we should take care about them, we should evaluate them. So ancient Iranians, Greeks, Romans, Turks or Turkic tribes, Arabs, Chinese and Russians, of course, made a contribution to Uzbek heritage, especially spiritual heritage. Of course, they brought the culture, they brought their language, of course, as well as the Great Silk Road contributed to the fusion of the culture of people and their customs and arts in our land. People exchanged ideas, people exchanged goods. Of course, here the exchange of culture just occurred or caused in this period. When we speak about the spiritual inheritance, we can say much. Oral traditions, customs, performing arts, social practice and knowledge, and of course traditional craftsmanship can be all their intangible heritage of Uzbek people. The myths, folk tales, fables, oral history, of course, all of them can form spiritual heritage of the nation. All of them, of course, form spiritual heritage, and all of them are taught to our new generation. Culture of Uzbekistan is one of the brightest and distinctive culture of the East. And when we speak about the heroes of our mythological stories like Guruglio, Alpamish, and when we speak about fairy tales as Zumrat and Kamat and the three brothers and so on, we can say much. It tells much to our children. It teaches something to good, our new generation. When we speak about visual arts, performing arts of Uzbek people are unique. Of course, we can be proud of our dance and the music, theaters, and of course performing arts that are very famous just in Uzbekistan and attracts yearly a lot of people. Just the folk dance of Uzbekistan is very popular with its beauty, with its beautiful movements and the clothes and so on. These dances are handed over from generation to generation and preserve ancient dance traditions. Women have got their own movement of dance and men have got their own movement of dance that are unique among the other world dances. When we speak about the movies and the films or just the theaters, we can't say much about them. Customs, ceremonies, festivities are rich of different rituals and traditions. They are related to wedding days, engaging ceremonies, or just ceremonies related to the birth of a child, like a beshik toy. And the wedding parties are very interesting. They are popular with a variety of dancers, dance, and of course music, national instruments can be played by the musicians. Special ceremonies after the wedding party in the morning, like the Kelin Salam, attracts yearly a lot of visitors to our land. And the special ceremony for little children, of course, are verifying from each other. Knowledge and customs related to the nature and the universe. When we speak about the knowledge, of course, we can say much concerning to the predecessors, as Uzbekistan is also famous for its commanders, scientists, singers, and poets. As our predecessor Ramon Temur did much, the contribution to this science as well as to the development of this land, and the famous physician, philosopher Abu Ali ibn Sina did much to the development of science in this land. Rudaki and Dakiki lived and composed their poems in Bukhara, which we can be proud of. And the modern mathematician, astronomy and geography without Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi cannot be just imagined. On the screen we can see the people, great people of this land that made a great contribution to the development of the science, and to the development of the country, to the development of the land. You see on the screen Uzbek that made a great contribution to the science as well. These people left much concerning to the heritage, spiritual heritage to Uzbek people. On the screen you can see just the Navai who developed the literature of the 15th and 16th century. Of course, he left a lot of collection of books. One of them is the famous Hamza, that means five stories concerning to the law. And of course, they did much to the contribution of spiritual heritage of Uzbekistan. And the colonial policy during USSR time made a great effect on the development of spiritual heritage of Uzbek people. People learned Russian language as well as sometimes they give not so much attention to the national heritage of this land. But after the independence, Uzbek people began to give much attention and to return all their old heritage back to the modern society. They began to celebrate the national holidays Navruz, Roza Hayat, Kurban Hayat, and so on. They began to go to mosques as much as possible. A lot of people just began to memorize or just return their sacred Islamic religion. Old mosques were reconstructed and new ones built. A number of educational institutions have been opened in this land. And of course, government plays a special role in the restoration of the spiritual heritage. And a lot of projects were held and still are held to continue or just to preserve our national heritage to the new coming generation. So every year, Asrlar Sadosa is held in various regions of Uzbekistan with the participation of various specialists, scientists, and of course foreign guests. Exhibitions related to the bazaar art is one of the brightest projects of the cultural life of the capital. These kind of exhibitions bring the masters all over the world together and exchange ideas with each other and get acquainted with folk masterpieces and art of works and share their experience concerning to the culture. On the screen you can see the art bazaars, exhibitions that just display the national cultural heritage of Uzbek people, and always celebrating and memorizing all that belong to the past is very valuable event, tradition, ritual for us. When we speak about the mother tongue Uzbek language, in Uzbekistan we celebrate it on the 21st of October. And especially on this day, a lot of ceremonies and events are held at schools, at universities, at the libraries, and other places, even in the kindergartens, just to memorize that Uzbek language is the main language of this country. And the Republican Center of Spirituality and Enlightenment just was organized by the government of the Republic of Uzbekistan. And the travel provides an opportunity for people to retreat from daily routines to seek variation in the form of leisure, in the form of history, in the format of spiritual enlightenment. People seek for various culture, for various spiritual heritage or resources, and it attracts them. When we speak about religious spiritual tourism, we can say about religious tourism and spiritual tourism. When we speak about sacred places, spiritual places can show the culture of the people whose land you visit. You see their lifestyle, you see their differentiating points, and you compare with yours. As people have different kind of identity, people prefer something different. They want to see something new. When they are bored of their identity, they want to see something new. On the screen you can see variety of identity that belong to different kind of culture, to different kind of ethnic groups. All of them verify, and as well as all of them attract each other just to travel from one place to another. It keeps the balance between the spirit, mood, and soul. And this kind of thing supports tourism industry. Differentiating features, differentiating heritages support tourism in the world. When you belong to one nation, you should proudly say that you are proud of your heritage and the family and that are left by your predecessors. You should be proud of all spiritual heritage that you assess. You should be proud of everything that is related to your nation. That's it for today. Thank you for your attention. We do hope that you got some useful information about national heritage of Uzbekistan. Because that means you have got the knowledge, you have got the education, you have got the religion, you have got the language, you have got a lot of things that you are proud of. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you.